brand new season of the Theatre Thoughts podcast. I'm very, very excited. Season 2, and this is how we start. I'm over the moon. We have with us theatre royalty right now. I should be wearing formal attire because I feel just bowing down. So we have a performer who is currently the Associate Director for Six the Musical in Australia. She's been the Resident Director and Resident Choreographer for Aladdin and the Resident Director for Strictly Ballroom. She's part of an elite group of women worldwide who've played both Velma Kelly and Roxie Hart in Chicago. Her other leading roles include Meg Geary in the Australian premiere of both Love Never Dies and The Phantom of the Opera, Belle in Beauty and the Beast, Columbia in Rocky Horror, Anita in West Side, Demeter in Cats, Little Red Riding Hood in Into the Woods, and most recently Caroline in Eve Blake's Fangirls. You are Australian theatre royalty. You have 3 Helpmann Awards to your name. Sharon Millerchip, welcome so much to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on board.
Oh, I'm really flattered. I'm really flattered you want to talk to me.
So
happy to be here.
Over the moon. I think I'm going to get this out of the gate straight away because I have it up in my mind. I'm pretty sure my very, very, very first theatre memory is seeing Beauty and the Beast, and I'm 100% sure that you were Belle in that production.
In Sydney?
In Sydney.
That definitely was me.
It would have been at the old Majesty's
At the Madge
Theatre.
that doesn't exist anymore,
Yes.
Sadly. I think it's a car park now.
Yeah. And I always remember that was my first theatre memory. And then me and my mum, we kept programs and everything. We were flipping back through. And I was like, because I spoke to you about Six. I remember speaking on the phone about Six.
Yes.
And like I
Yes.
did my research and everything. I was like, was she Belle? Belle when I... No, can't be. And then it was. And I was like,
Is
oh
she
my
that
God.
old? Yeah, she's that old.
No, it would make you feel that old. But I was ecstatic, to be honest with you.
That's a great first theatre experience, I think, because...
Yeah.
You know, it was a magical production. I think, you know, it's a beautiful introduction to the world of music theatre or theatre on any large scale.
Exactly, yeah. And if I'm not much mistaken, it was the late Bert who was
It was.
Cogsworth in that?
It was Bert.
Yeah.
Yeah, loved every second of working with Bert. Such a gentleman, such a professional.
Yeah,
big-hearted, beautiful man.
Yeah, he was in a lot of things. I saw him as Oz in Wicked.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, very kind soul. Kind soul. But let's talk about you then. So you've had such an extensive career in theatre. There's obviously so many highlights you can talk about. Let's kind of start with where did it start for you? Like, what was the first thing that you went, I'm going to be a musical theatre star?
That was never my plan.
Oh, okay.
Although I did go to the Johnny Young Talent School, which you're probably too young to know what that is. Johnny Young Young Talent Time was a television show. Young Talent Time was on TV at 6:30 on Sunday night, and it was every, precocious song and dance kid in Australia wanted to be on that show. Yeah. And I went to the Johnny Young Talent School. Right. But that was filmed in Melbourne. I was in Sydney. I performed on that show a lot of times. So that's sort of where I guess I started my sort of song and dance thing. But it was kind of dance that was my big love. And so my plan was always I wanted to be a contemporary dancer. That's what I wanted to do. And that's where I was headed straight after high school. But I auditioned for Cats.
Right. Okay.
And I'd actually auditioned when it was first out.
Oh, really?
But I was 15. I was too young to get in the show anyway. Right. And I think it was when they had the open auditions and literally 10,000 people auditioned. It was like, people were lined up around city blocks. It was like a New York movie.
Yeah.
But a couple of years later, I auditioned and I was just so floored I got in. And that sort of started me on this path of music theatre. I sort of started on Cats and then stayed there forever.
Wow, you just got the bug. Yeah.
I got the bug, yeah.
That's incredible. So was there any kind of major challenges that you found when you first started? Like anything that you kind of was new to you or unexpected in a way?
It was all new to me. I got into Cats. I was 17, I'd moved to Melbourne. I'd never even lived out of home. So I was, bang in a new city, living on my own, doing a job. I was a swing. So, which it's kind of like an understudy, but you cover multiple roles. Yeah. And so I'd never had any I didn't know what that entailed. I didn't really know how to do that. I didn't have any sort of technique to to learning the roles or how to sort of organise myself. So it was a big learning curve sort of on the job. Yeah, it was. I learned a lot in that first couple of years.
That's incredible.
Amazing. And then that was in the original Melbourne company.
Right.
So and then we did the first Australian tour, and I played Demeter in that role.
Yeah.
And then
and Swings, all hail Swings.
Swings, honestly, Swings work so hard. Swings are super talented, and they're the glue that holds the show together. And now that I've worked sort of on the other side, sort of in a creative positions off stage, I truly more than ever understand the value of Swings, and they really are.
Working with Six, the queens over there, like
amazing.
Yeah.
The Swings, they're super Swings.
They are.
They cover all the roles, and they go on for all of them.
Yeah. We had Kiara on last year because I realised that we went to the same high school, and I was like, it was so good to see like where she's gone.
Oh, she's so great.
Oh, she's so talented.
Yeah,
I remember watching her and her brother Daniel at school, and they were always up at like the theatre nights and the show nights, and they were doing their pair dancing.
It was so cute. We were in Melbourne. We were on one side of the street in Six. She was starring in Six, and he was on the other side of the show, of the road, doing Hamilton.
Yeah.
And it was sort of like these two little.
That's so cute.
They were like, kids. They were like, my gosh, our wildest dreams have actually come true.
It's insane, isn't it? I love it. It's very wholesome.
It's so wholesome. They are so wholesome. Yeah. I'm so proud of them. I'm like their mother.
Yeah, it's so cute. But you're here to talk about the new performance that you're in, A Broadcast Coup, which is playing at the Ensemble Theatre. So I'm entirely ignorant about this show. I don't know anything about it besides the description in front of me. So I'll just briefly read that out. So the description is, cutthroat journalist Jez Connell is out for her next sting. It's been a year since she's brought down one of TV's most lauded stars for behaving badly, and now she's got Michael King, the top-rated darling of public radio, in her sights. But this time it's personal. I love it. So tell us about it.
Well, it's set in a radio studio in that world, which is kind of like this weird parallel universe, sort of radio media. It's really interesting. Mike King is a household name. He's, had a 30, 40-year career. He's very charismatic. He's always been a bit of a, playboy. People have sort of loved him for that. And I play his producer. He's a long-time executive producer. So I've kind of, best friended, mothered, produced, protected him for all of that time. And he's kind of sitting at the top of the food chain. And then Jez, this investigative journalist, sort of comes in and starts chipping away at all the skeletons in the closet.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it kind of explores the abuse of power, I guess, in workplaces, and misconduct in terms of bullying, sexual misconduct, all sorts of things in the workplace, and how the world is kind of turning in that regard slowly.
Yeah. Still grinding away.
Yes. And that sounds pretty heavy-handed, but it's also very funny because it's written by Mel Tait, who cannot help but be hilarious and witty and acerbic when she writes. You've worked with her before, haven't you? I have. I did another play that she wrote called The APPLETON Ladies Potato Race.
Okay. I love the name.
Which you may tell from the title was a comedy.
Yeah.
But also similarly tackled some really kind of heavy-hitting subjects, actually. But, Mel has this incredible ability to create sort of a Trojan horse, and she coats these sort of quite heavy subject matters in laughs and jokes and great engagement and great characters, and so you kind of, you're lulled into this false sense of security. You think you're sort of watching a comedy, and then all of a sudden you go, oh my God, why am I crying? What happened? So and A Broadcast Coup there's a couple of quite hard-hitting twists in there as well.
So it sounds very much part of like this continuous motion of the Me Too sort of movement, where you're looking at, like you said, a lot of misconduct and things like that.
But I think what this play does really beautifully is it tells the story very authentically from five aspects of the five characters.
Okay.
So it's all within one story, but
Yeah.
it's not bombastic in its,
Right.
you know, the goodies and the baddies, you know, the lines are always blurred, you know, as they are in life, I think.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, definitely.
you know, that's what I think Mel does really well.
And it's filled with a super cast as well. So you have Tony Coggin, Ben Gerard, who I saw in American Psycho, who was just out of this
So
world.
great. He's so wonderful
Isn't
in
he?
this. Yeah, he's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fabulous.
He's got such a unique quality about him to be just, I don't know, not like a caricature, but literally like someone's picked him out of a cartoon and just like, you know, the way he moves is just so elastic, I think. That's the word.
Absolutely.
But so like true as well in everything he does. And could watch him again and again.
Perfectly put.
Yeah.
He's extremely charismatic. Yeah, super smart too.
And you have Alex King, who I saw in A Comedy of Errors, and Amber
McMahon.
McMahon.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm so sorry, Amber. Who was in North by Northwest
With me.
With you. Exactly. Yeah.
This is actually the fourth show that we've done together,
Okay.
almost in a row.
Yeah. Wow.
So we're like, you know, we joke that we're a package deal now.
Is that just out of happenstance, or
That's just
happens?
coincidence.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We definitely love working together.
Yeah.
And I think we do have a good chemistry. So, yeah, people
That's
have kind of
awesome.
cast us in things alongside each other, which we continue to love.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's brilliant. Brilliant.
You're going to be in the next thing together. It'll just be the next. It'll be you and her.
We did. Well, we had this joke the other day. I played her. I said, she said, "Oh, we'll have to do a musical." I said, "Oh, we'll do Sideshow."
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, where the conjoined twins. And I was telling her about it. She said, "Oh, this sounds incredible." And I played her a song, and she said, "Oh, it's serious."
Yeah, yeah.
Like it sounded so ridiculous, the context of the show, that she
Yeah.
thought it was a comedy. But so maybe we will rewrite Sideshow as a comedic satire.
Interesting. Watch this space.
Watch this space.
So with Broadcast Coup, I guess the question is, where's its quality lie? Where does it?